Good afternoon. Welcome again to Lunch with Lisa. We're super excited that we have so many people joining us and that we've had so many people joining us the past week and a half. And our guests, we continue to have really exciting guests, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in and taking your lunch break with us. I'm Lisa Nickerson, CEO of Nickerson Full Service PR marketing firm. We're located in Boston and Miami, and I will tell you that my team wants me to do a little more pitch about some of the things that we do. And during this time, we've been working with people on their public relations, reworking their messaging, pivoting their marketing for the next few quarters, and a lot of graphic design work. Actually, there's a lot of companies now calling us because this is the time to make some updates to your website that you've been meaning to do. Get that brochure done, maybe do even a refresh of your brand. So when we all come back from this, we're ready and we're just feeling a little bit new and fresh, and that's what we're here to help you do. Another thing that we've been working with people on is their social media, and again, making sure that your tone is right for this environment, and that you sound like you're listening and empathetic while also talking about what you do. So that's what we're here to help you do. But more importantly than that, they are our guests. We have J.Q. Louise, the author of Boston Food Crawls and the blogger behind jqlouise.com. If you have not been to her blog, we will be, I'm being told that the microphone is garbled. How am I sounding? Is that better? jqlouise.com is an absolutely beautiful blog. If you haven't been there, please go, because this is going to be the time where you can imagine your dream vacation and really plan it and probably get a deal on booking it. So go to jqlouise.com. You have done travel. You have a travel and lifestyle blog. You have a book, Boston Food Crawls, touring the neighborhoods one bite libation at a time. You write for I have a list of different publications that you write for. I'll let you talk more about that, and features on television, radio, press, and such. And then Chef Sara Wade, you are the two-time Food Network champion, owner of Stillwater in Boston, named one of the top new restaurants in Boston last year. And you're actually one of our favorite clients. And we've really enjoyed working with you, and in particular during this time. We have so much respect for your hustle and what you've done, keeping your restaurant open and providing sexy snacks to everybody out there, providing takeout. And we've been thrilled. You've really become one of the poster children of chefs doing takeout. And we've had you in a lot of press. If people aren't familiar with Sara, go to our website. We have a blog that gives you her whole background and the amazing things she's done, and links to all the press that we've done. And so anyway, I'm thrilled to have you both on today. Thank you. Just so we go through the usual format. Someone else is saying the audio isn't great. I'm hoping again that's better. And of course, Sarah's actually working today. She is working while she's doing this webinar. Just steps away, or you hear an order coming in. I think that's tough. Actually, Sara, someone is suggesting maybe muting it out a little bit when you're not talking. Is that possible? What do you think?
To mute it? Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
If I know how to, maybe.
If not, we're going to mess things up. Oh, there we go. Oh, I bet you that's a lot better. Yeah, and then when you talk, just remember, we'll put that back on. The other thing, as always, I have the same poll. We're not going to do a lot of polls today, just one, because I really like to keep my pulse on, do you love working from home? Is it okay for now, or you can't wait to get back to the office? And when everybody does respond to this, it gives us a good idea, and days really fluctuate. I think maybe it's the audience, and maybe just sometimes the day of the week that we're doing this. So live chat is open, and I'm hoping that you all come on and ask questions, and we are able to engage our guests today. So obviously, this has been a ginormous hit to the travel and food industries. JQ, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're seeing in the travel industry and what we should be taking advantage of right now during this time?
Yeah, I mean, first thing first, I'd love to say that it's been great to see how the food and travel industry has really come together in this difficult time. We're all in this together, whether you're a hotel or a restaurant, or any of us in kind of the adjacent industries like media and influencers and photographers. I think it's been great to see that support. But for now, for everybody who's looking at the summer and vacations for later in the year, you shouldn't be booking any trips until later in the summer. I mean, it's just the reality, plan to stay local for June and, the early parts of the summer, but later in the summer and into the fall, there are some great deals that you can score right now. The airlines are doing, they're canceling all their cancellation fees and change fees and things like that. So if there's somewhere you've been dying to go, it might be time to scoop up a deal.
JQ, let me ask you a question. So if I booked right now for something in August and it turns out it's still not a good time to travel, you're telling me they'd let me change it?
A lot of the major airlines have been getting rid of all their fees, and they're being very flexible with people because, they need to understand the situation that we're all in. So, there's a lot more flexibility.
Is there any talk about international travel? Will there be any restrictions on international travel? I brought my passport out today because I'd really love it. It's actually a really new one. I want to break it open.
I know, you got to break that thing in. So I'm someone, typically I'm traveling internationally once or twice or sometimes 3 times a month. So I'm dying to get back out there. Right now, it's just still very uncertain on what will be recommended from the CDC and the WHO perspectives, but also just from, any travel restrictions that the government may put out there. So again, it's kind of time to just take it easy on the planning, but maybe book some trips for later in the year, as long as you still have those flexible change fees and everything.
Sure. Well, one of the things that you mentioned is, I feel like the one theme that every single guest talks about is the time that we have and the time together that we have with our family, and that you could actually take this time to look at all these trips that you never thought about, right? Okay. Or really plan that big family trip. We all are getting such a good sense of how important our families are and our friends are right now. And, if it's not your friends, maybe it's if it's not your family, maybe it's your friends or something. And so, such a good idea. And of course, you go to your blog for those ideas, right?
Yeah. So what I've been really working on is, putting together content around, anything to, first of all, make your life better right now. Everyone's working from home. For a lot of people, that's something new. So if you go to my blog, I have a great article on 5 tips for working from home. But also, if you dig into it, I have articles from my trips all over the world. And like you said, right now is the time to do that research. Right. Everyone has a lot more free time. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. So you might as well, and your dream vacation later this year or even early next year, there's plenty of time to really do that research, figure out where you want to go. If you want to take a big family trip, this is the time to do that background research and just, take your time to decide. There's so many nice places to go. Yeah.
One of the things, and thank you to my team for posting up the blog. One of the things that we talked about was also planning for weddings. I know there were a lot of weddings I was supposed to attend this summer. They've all been pushed. You have in your blog about destination travel and weddings. And I was thinking to myself, there were already a lot of weddings planned for next year. And now we have the ones that are being bumped. How is that working? And what are people doing about that?
Yeah. So I actually spoke with my wedding planner 2 weeks ago about this, because I had a destination wedding last October in Rome. And the planning, even if you have a great team around you, planning a destination wedding is a lot of work and takes a lot of time. So I can only imagine what it's like to postpone something like that. But, the other nice thing is that the industry has really been flexible for people and has come together, because there's nothing you can do. If everyone needs to postpone their weddings in the next several months, and most people want to, have a similar date, if they want a summer wedding, they want a summer wedding this year or next year. So a lot of venues are being flexible. But one thing that my wedding planner pointed out is that you may need to be open-minded about the day of the week. So if Saturday is booked up, you may, if you can get a Friday or a Sunday, that's ideal, but you may even need to go to a Thursday or a Monday. That way your guests can still create a long weekend trip out of it. But that's why people need to be open-minded. If you can't get a Saturday, then you need to look at a different day of the week.
When I got married, it was 22, 23 years ago now, but we did a Friday night when that wasn't popular yet, but there was a particular venue that I wanted on Cape Cod. And to be honest, everybody just took Friday off, came down, we had a 4:30 wedding, and it became a weekend party. It was really fun. And so, and that's again, when that wasn't even popular. So it is not the end of the world to have a Friday wedding or a Thursday wedding now, for that matter, especially if you can get your just. And I know then it was also less expensive. That was like a bonus that we had. So.
Well, and I mean, the venues are in the same boat as the rest of us. So they're looking to, book events, book weddings. So again, there may be some deals out there.
Yeah. Sara, are you available right now to chat?
Sure.
I want to get you while I have you there. So this has been a big week in the restaurants that now you can offer beer and wine. Why is that such a game changer? I think a lot of people don't understand. Now, they can't come in and have a cocktail per se. You're not whipping up cocktails. But why is it so important that people can get a bottle of wine or beer with their food now?
I mean, it's great. Not only, I guess the biggest selling point right now is that a lot of restaurants have what we call on-premise wine, which is that I have wine that you can't get in a liquor store. So, you go to all these restaurants that you love and you have that great glass of Sauvignon Blanc that makes you happy and you can't get it anywhere, but now you can buy it from us. So not only is it, supporting me because you're coming in and buying alcohol along with your food, but you're also getting something that you couldn't get before. So that's the selling point on the whole thing.
That's terrific. Couple things, funny again. Your PR person is on my team, so boy, did they give me a list before we got on today. 3 to 6 p.m. is sexy time at Stillwater, and the sexy snacks, there's a deal on those. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yep, we do half-price apps from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday.
Sara, come a little closer to the mic, okay?
We do sexy snacks 3 to 6. They're half price Monday through Friday. It's just fun. It's something to get people to maybe get a couple of the half price apps and then order an entree or something with it. I think we're all missing happy hour. So this is kind of our way of, throwing back to, the days when you could go into a restaurant. And it seems to be working really well.
That's awesome. What's your favorite sexy snack?
Oh, my favorite sexy snack are the smoked chicken empanadas. They're so good. They have
they are good.
I've had those.
And yeah, everybody loves them.
So I'm generally a fixture in Stillwater, either at the bar doing all of my power lunches at Stillwater. And I love the deviled eggs and the Ritz chicken. And you had a salad. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you've got so many good things. And the desserts. I will say, as much as we're all eating more at home, I think about how much I ate at Stillwater, and I always had a dessert after. And I'm like, well, I'm not eating all that. And then you're cooking for Passover and Easter too to go.
I am.
What a good idea.
How fun, right?
Yeah.
Just because we're home doesn't mean we can't enjoy amazing, chef cooked meals, which is, the message we're trying to get out there. So yeah, we do simple supper for 2 every day. It changes almost every day. And so for Passover, we're doing sweet and sour brisket with potato kugel and some dill honey carrots and matzo ball soup. I'm excited to make that. And then Easter supper for 2 is going to be honey Dijon ham with roasted fingerling potatoes and more carrots and a nice springy green salad. So good stuff, fill your belly, make you happy, sell some warm and fuzzies.
Yeah. I created props behind me today. I pulled my suitcase out of the closet. I was grabbing things. I've never seen more candy. My mother's staying with us right now, and we're keeping her safe. And I've never seen more candy cooked in my house. But Ritz crackers, you do I love Ritz crackers. Talk about your Ritz cracker dish.
We have a couple. We do a Ritz fried chicken, which is so delicious. It's some marinated chicken thighs that are crusted in Ritz crackers and fried till they're golden and crispy. And they go with some creamy mashed potatoes and a charred 3-onion butter. So tasty. And then we also use it to garnish our super creamy mac and cheese, which everybody loves. So yeah.
I actually, I bought the Velveeta packages the other day and tried to recreate that. Because when I go in with Bob's my significant other, for those who don't know, that's his go-to is your mac and cheese. And so I literally, like I said, I got Velveeta and I said, this is as good as I can do for right this second.
Velveeta it's magic liquid gold.
Yeah. So, this has been a huge pivot for you. Obviously, nothing we ever expected, but again, you've been crushing it on the takeout. What do you think? What do you think is also lending to the success, or what are you hearing from people as they come in? One of the things I do like, we've gone to some other places for takeout, and we might see somebody like trading cash there, or, still a lot of handwork. You're not doing that. Are people paying online? Is that right?
Yes. So I find that most people are ordering via our website, which is great. You can even order the alcohol that you want. You pay online, and then all you have to do is walk in and say your name, and you walk right back out. So that seems to be the most, the best way that's been going on so far.
And what have you been hearing from people when they come in? What do they really appreciate about picking up the takeout?
It's either one way or the other. People either love that they can walk in, grab it, and walk back out, and there's no social contact. There's that, or they love to come in and order it and have a quick 5-minute conversation with someone that's not, their significant other or child. So
right.
It is a little bit of a break for some people to walk out of the house, walk down here, say hello. A lot of regulars come in. And so it's a nice little teeny tiny bit of social aspects.
I know.
I had oh, go ahead, JQ.
Sorry, that's something that I love. I mean, I live right down the street from Stillwater, and I think, just going to a restaurant to even just pick up food and have a little, 2 seconds of chit chat with someone just brightens up the day.
I had to drive downtown the other day for the first time in weeks to pick up an item from a client, and just to get in my car and get on the Pike and to go into the city, and just to get handed a package to drive back out was the highlight of my week. I was like, this is great. There's a question that we have, Sara, for you, and I'm not really understanding the question. So Stephen Kenny, if you could clarify this a little bit, but the question is, are people cutting price points and profits to drive the business? Is 80% of something better than 100% of nothing? So I guess the question might be, are you cutting costs on food and alcohol? Or how is that working? And then, of course, I always want anybody to keep in mind, any business right now, that, we all need the revenue, right? We all need, the amount, I think, but you answer that for yourself.
We are not cutting any of our prices down. The only thing that we're doing is that happy hour with the intention to drive sales and drive people to buy more than a couple of the half price items on the menu. But other than that, right now, we're not. I feel like you still kind of have to stick to your guns. Are you cutting your margin? No, my margins currently are the same.
Yeah.
We're not buying any cheaper food products. We're not changing anything, because my goal at the end of the day with staying open through all of this is that I'm hoping that this takeout gives us more customers. And as a brand new restaurant, I'm still here trying to settle myself in the market, and for people to go, oh man, so they like the mac and cheese and the fried chicken that you guys have, and they know about it.
Right.
And so right now, no, we're maintaining our consistent high standards, and we're not changing prices. And hopefully I'll have a new customer base when this thing changes and people can come in.
I think the idea is too that maybe this is an opportunity for people to try you who haven't before, but also I think that there's going to be a loyalty to the people who stuck through this and still served people. Right. I feel like this webinar in the same way, right? I could be calling people about, business development for marketing, this, that, and the other. And no one wants that phone call right now. I think it's way more fun to offer a value of having cool people like yourselves on. And then people might say later, oh yeah, I loved that webinar. Let's have that firm do our branding now, because I saw what they're capable of doing. I think the same thing for you and same thing for you, JQ. People can go to your blog now and really use their imagination for a trip that they've never done before, and maybe again people with their family that they've never done, and I think that's where the opportunity is. Question.
Lisa, I'm going to step away for 2 seconds. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right, great.
I'll be right back.
Yep. So, okay, JQ, then I'm going to throw it back to you. Years ago, thinking of these family trips, my family did a huge trip. There were 15 of us, and we went to Australia and New Zealand, and it was a lot of planning and a lot of money, but we all did it, and it's something that we all talk about at every holiday still, and it's one of those things that's ingrained in our memory. It's just this amazing family trip. Do you have recommendations for people on when they're doing group trips? Because again, I think this is something we might see more of over the next couple of years when people start to plan that they do things with their family, and maybe there's a little more thoughtfulness in, the value of family and the value of time. So do you have hints and suggestions for what people should be looking for?
Yeah, so I've actually been getting this question a lot. I think since everyone's spending a lot more time at home and with their kids and with their family and but also on the flip side, you know, a lot of us have been spending less time with, you know, maybe grandparents or people who are older. So, you know, kind of that need to be together is even stronger. But yeah, you know, planning a big trip is always a lot more work than planning, you know, a couple's trip or you know, friend's trip, something like that. So my biggest tip is to just get everyone on the same page right at the beginning. You know, what are the goals from this trip? It's, you know, is it going to be relaxing? Are we going to the spa every day? Are we going to the beach every day? You know, is it a mix of, you know, going to the beach, doing some adventure stuff, doing some sightseeing, you know, who wants to do what? I think it's just getting those expectations clear from the beginning is the best way to get started.
And not everybody's going to want to do the same thing, and that's okay. You know, I had another friend, they did a family trip last year to Italy, and the kids didn't want to do everything the mom wanted to do.
Exactly.
And I think that sometimes you just got to say, suck it up, right? I mean, is that wrong? That you're not going to make everybody happy, but let's think about what we can do together. I don't know. You tell me, well, how do people handle that?
Yeah. So, I mean, how I usually like to handle it is, again, you know, from the beginning, you just need to have an open discussion. You know, if the mom wants to do a ton of sightseeing and see all the historical stuff and the kids just want to, you know, go to the pool or, you know, shopping or whatever it is, I think just have that discussion now while you're planning. And you can either make a day, you know, if the kids are older and they can go off on their own and do, you know, something while the parents are doing, you know, tours and historical stuff. Just plan it. Say, okay, this day we're all doing our own thing. We'll come and meet up at dinner. And then the next 3 days we're all together. We're going to do this, this, and this. It's just set expectations and just agree to a plan and stick to it.
You know, really good question, Stephen Kenny. Thanks for all the great questions today. Travel insurance. So what do we do about travel insurance right now? What do you suggest?
So I've been reading about this a lot because I know a lot of people, you know, use travel insurance. I personally don't, because I usually look at the change fees and kind of weigh my options that way. But travel insurance, a lot of them specifically do not cover pandemics, and they do not cover, you really need to read the fine print on what they cover and what they don't. But I think where, you know, we're lucky is that the airlines and a lot of hotels and Expedia and some of these booking sites have all waived change fees. So I would rather read the fine print on change fees to know my flexibility on that side rather than leaning on travel insurance, because, you know, that's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah. You know, we have 3 minutes left. We're going to close out the poll in just a minute. So if anybody hasn't responded to the poll yet, please do so. But right now, this is the highest number I've seen yet. 53% of people love working from home and hope to do it forever. That's the highest I've seen yet. Again, it could be our audience today, but I don't know. I think people are going to get used to this. I really do. 29%. Oh, that's changing. 60% work from home. 33% it's okay for now. And only 17% can't wait to get back to the office. So go ahead, Sara. What are you thinking?
Follow on Stillwater.
Oh, follow Stillwater on Instagram. That just popped up. I love this. You know, does anybody, let me go back to our chat here and see if there's any other questions for you guys. Janet Sabia, which, by the way, Janet Sabia runs Altair Construction. They do a lot of home renovation work as well as some larger scale multifamily type. If anybody's going to need a renovation coming out of this, Janet's your person. So she's on today. And she was saying, maybe we bundle some offerings with some other restaurants where there could be different nights, like a restaurant week. I think that's a cool idea. Maybe, Sara, that's something we talk about later. That would be super cool. Almost like a virtual tour, right? Where there's different takeout every night. Oh, question. Safety. Are you taking the temperature of workers?
Yeah, we do every day.
Okay, great. And so far, everybody's safe and healthy and good?
Yep. There's only 4 of us in here.
Okay.
It's the same 4 of us 7 days a week. So it's definitely keeping that margin very small as to who's coming.
And again, you're putting the food down at the end of the bar, and they just come in and wave and they grab it. So there's not even a close interaction, no handing things to each other. That's really terrific. We have another minute. JQ, what do you want people to think about? Like, what's this takeaway? What do you want people to do this afternoon when they get off and they go to your blog? And what do you most want people to know?
I think, you know, if you go to my blog, there's lots of tips and tricks for working from home, for dealing with postponing weddings, and future trips. I think just find something positive to focus on, whether that's improving your home station, planning trips of 6 months down the line,
gorgeous.
Oh, Sara, can you mute out? Because I
Yes.
can't hear. Sorry. JQ, give us that again because we were losing a little bit of it.
I think right now it's just everyone needs to focus on the positive. So if you go to my website, there's lots of articles on how to either improve your working from home experience, planning future trips, or planning a destination wedding.
Perfect. And Sara, anything else? We want, again, Passover, Easter, we can make it so much easier if we just pick it up from you, right? And we're supporting local business, which is so important right now. So any other takeaway that I need to know for that?
No, you're right. We understand you can't eat out every day, but support your little local restaurants when you do is my best suggestion. The big guys will be fine.
Yep.
But we're here every day. We're cooking. We're not going anywhere. And we will be happy to shake your cocktail the minute that they allow us to.
That's terrific. I want to thank you guys for coming on today. I really appreciate your time, especially while you're trying to work at the same time, Sara. I also want to thank our sponsor, Spark Technologies. Just yesterday, one of our clients, their email went down, and it was because they were working with a server out of their office. And I said, you're not online? You don't have this in the cloud? And I referred Spark to them. And actually, Spark found all sorts of issues on the dark web related to their emails and some other issues. And so I'm telling you guys, do not be messing with your IT right now. Rick Welch over at Spark Technologies is there to help you out. And you can't afford to be down. This was a big company and their emails were down yesterday. And, it's tough to get somebody into the office to work on that server. So I'm so thankful to our sponsors. I'm thankful for everybody who's coming. And then tomorrow, we have Karen Kiefer. I'm really, really excited about Karen. She is the author of Drawing God. And this is a really creative book. This is for children. If you know anybody with who has children home right now, she's going to talk about children, their emotions, their feelings, how they draw in order to find comfort in things, and that you can have conversations with your children that you never thought of through asking them what the sun means to them and where do they see hope and where do they see faith. And, the children that are home right now, they're absorbing all of this. They're absorbing your stress. They're absorbing your work day when you're trying to get them to do school or something else. They're hearing everything on the news, and they may have some fear in them or some concerns that you don't even realize they know. Just because they're 6 doesn't mean they are not absorbing it. And so Karen and I talked for a long time yesterday about the power of conversation through drawing, and how also, again, this is Holy Week. It's Passover, it's Easter. Not a lot of us have been doing the religious ed part, I'm sure, of the work with our children. And so during this time, how can we also talk about God and talk about faith and do it through drawing? And, Karen said yesterday, then taking these pictures and they're masterpieces because they were a time and a conversation that you had with that child you may not have otherwise. So I really hope you tune in tomorrow and suggest friends who do. This has become something all over the world. Drawing God Day is November 7th. It's being practiced in 9 countries. I'm really excited to have Karen on tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a great day. And thank you, JQ. Thank you, Sara. And everybody go get some sexy snacks today. Talk to you soon.